Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Let me move this back a bit. What's up? Welcome to Actors Daily Bread. This is Christine Horn, your life and career coach. And it's Tuesday. Gosh, I'm like, I truly forget what day it is sometimes. Good evening. What's up, East Coast, West Coast, and wherever you are. Today we're talking about poor prep and how poor prep equals poor results. I'm gonna make this quick. Basically, I've been guilty of it. Self-sabotage. We don't mean to sabotage ourselves, but then we do, right? So I really just want to touch on this because I've been hearing just about, how do I deal with nerves and confidence, and I'll do a lot more videos about that. Good evening if you're just tuning in. But I want to talk about preparation. And now granted, I know that sometimes it's, crazy pilot season or just a busy week and you have like 4 auditions, if you're lucky, if you have like a bunch of auditions in a short amount of time. But I'm not going to talk about these rare instances. I want to focus on just like, okay, let's say you just got an email saying you have an audition, right? What happens after you get the email? Of course, you probably call, email to confirm. But what is your process after that, right? So for me, like today, I got an audition. Okay. I see what it is. I print the script. I, see what time it is. Do a quick glance to see what I may or may need to prep. Typically for me, I hear the auditions are like the next day, or maybe I have a 2-day notice. And try to think about what I may need to do. And the reason why I'm kind of pushing prep is because a lot of times we leave stuff for the last minute and then wonder why we are stressed and ill prepared, right? So let's just say this audition comes in, it's tomorrow, and you wait through the whole day. Oh, I'll get to that later tonight. I'll get to it later. And then it's midnight. Your audition's tomorrow. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I need, I don't know, this certain hair, or I need to buy a piece of a costume, or I need to do this, or oh shoot, they have an accent. I gotta study this dialect. I shoulda. And that happens so many times. I'm gonna put this away here. Okay. But had you opened it earlier, had you checked it out earlier, you would have given yourself more time. And what happens then is there's a frazzle thing that happens. And then when you show up to the audition, whether it's for theater, whether it's for film, TV, doesn't matter, there's this frazzle thing inside of you. And what that really is you not being prepared. So when you don't feel confident because you're like, oh shoot, I'm still trying to memorize these lines, blah, 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 blah. All that comes in with you. All that comes in with you, right? And so I want to encourage you to think, are you truly, truly prepping, giving yourself the time you really need before an audition? Because sometimes we are sabotaging ourselves. And good evening if you're just jumping on. Give me a thumbs up, say hello, whatever, and let me know if this resonates with you. And I don't know, I think sometimes truly believe most times we are not trying to sabotage ourselves. For instance, I know when it's always a project I don't want to read for. I don't say it at first. Like I print the script, I do what I say, I print the script and I look at it and I just be like, I'm gonna get to it. When's it due? It's due tomorrow morning. Okay. And I'm like, Christine, then I have to look at myself, Christine, okay, why are you putting this off? And then I end up telling my husband, I don't really like this part. And then I'm not gonna do it. But I have to go through this motion. So perhaps there's something you're doing when things come up. Perhaps there's a reason why you're stalling. Perhaps there's a reason why it's not so urgent for you. And I want you to think about what that could be. Is it that you don't really want this part? You feel like you just have to take it, or you feel like if you don't go to this audition, your agent or your manager is going to drop you? Like, what is it? Because if you say you really want this, if you say this is what you do, you're serious about it, then why are you hesitating when an opportunity comes for you? Like when I see that inbox, I'm like, ding, Oh, I'm excited. 2, 3, bet. Okay, it's going to be a challenge. I got this. Because this excites me. This is what I love to do. But if there's some hesitation, if you're waiting until the last minute to figure out, okay, where's the audition located? Okay, mapping out how long it's going to take you to get there. Oh, you know it's going to be traffic. I don't care what city you live in. It's going to be traffic, right? So are you also, poor planning is not planning your route there, not planning when you need to leave your house. Let me tell you, out here in Atlanta too was the same way. I would just say, regardless of where it was, I'd be like, I'm gonna give myself an hour and a half. It could be 10 minutes down the road. I'm gonna give myself an hour and a half because I don't like to be stressed. When it comes to my work, I do not want to be stressed. There might be accidents. I don't know what craziness is going on in the streets. I want to give myself time to find a parking spot. I want to give myself time to walk to the appointment. I want to give myself time to go to the bathroom to spruce myself back up. I want to give myself time to sit in the waiting room and breathe and settle in. I like giving myself that time. So if you're prone to being late, or I don't know, you have to factor all that stuff in, because all of that comes in the room with you. All of that comes on your tape with you. It all comes with you. All that energy, the stress, the anxiety, all that comes in. And so a lot of times when I'm talking to actors, they're like, I'm trying to work on my confidence, or, I'm like, what are you bringing in the room with you? Because remember, casting directors, they're just people, right? This is just their job. They happen to be looking for talent. But what did you bring in the room with you? What baggage did you bring in? I love, it's something Oprah said. She used to have a sign on her door at Harpo Studios, either on her door or on her desk. And it said, you are responsible for the energy that you bring into the room. And so if you think about that as you approach an audition, as you show up to a building, as you greet the receptionist or the person signing people in, what are you giving to them? You meet people and you're just like, that was a cool person. They seem really cool. Something that you're giving off. And who doesn't want to work with somebody who's super cool and gives off a cool vibe, right? So that's just my tip today about planning. So poor prep equals poor results. And I want you to have amazing results. Just take the time to make sure this is a priority. If it's a priority, then make it one. And I guarantee you'll start to see the difference. So if you are watching this live or watching the replay, I would love to hear your comments. Have you ever caught yourself self-sabotaging your own auditions and not even realizing why? Maybe you didn't realize you were doing it. And if you're tired of feeling like you're showing up not 100%, then you have an opportunity to change that today, starting tomorrow, starting the next audition. What will you do differently? If you can be honest with yourself, you'd be like, I do leave at the last minute. Is that you? Right? I don't have my headshots prepped. I be cutting it in the car, like what is that? Tornisha says yes. You got to find out what your thing is. Be honest with yourself. No one has to know this. You don't have to tell me. You can, but you don't have to. Just, it's important for you to see it for yourself. Where am I slacking? Where am I slacking, really? All right. That is my 2 cents. This is Actors Daily Bread. It's always a pleasure hanging with you. Remember, leave a comment after the replay too. I'll respond, I promise. And share this video if you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up, a like, and don't be selfish. If you have an actor friend, and every actor has actor friends, invite them over to the Actors Daily Bread Facebook group, where we do this and other exclusive trainings, and you get to be surrounded by other amazing artists who are on a mission to elevate their lives and careers. I'm Christine Horn, your life and career coach. Have an amazing night.